Part 2.
Part 2.
Episode 21.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37 on Ravelry and Spark People.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Winnie on Ravelry and Penny Winnie 2 on Spark People.
How you guys doing this week?
We're back together again.
Back in the saddle again.
We were just saying that we had a milestone episode last week, episode 20, and we weren't even together.
We weren't even together.
So that was good, though. It was like a bonus double episode.
Yeah, there you go. So, I want to say welcome to Mizorix Bix. I wonder if I spelled that wrong.
I don't know.
MSAROX. No,
Yeah.
I bet you that extra X isn't supposed to be there. Ms. Aerobics is what it's supposed to be.
Aerobics.
Okay,
I bet that's what it is.
Aerobics. I think that extra X isn't supposed to be there for Spark People. Thanks for friending me.
Nobody new has friended me on Spark People.
That one came, I think, right after I recorded last week, so it's been waiting. Sorry, I had a crick in my shoulder right here.
And I want to say we have... I wrote 298, but we have 289 members on the group.
I was going to say,
I got a little dyslexic there. Yep, 289. Yay! Welcome to our group. If you're a new viewer, welcome.
And if you're a returning viewer, thanks for watching.
Thanks for coming back and putting up with it.
No kidding. Oh, this shoulder's going to hurt. I'm sorry.
What did you do to it?
I think I slept on it wrong. It's one of those pains.
It's a crick.
Yeah.
She has a crick.
I have a crick that I need someone to use their elbow and just go.
You should come to Monday Night Knitting and have Kathy give you an adjustment. Hi, Kathy.
How come I feel like I'm taller than you today?
Because you're sitting so forward. If
I'm
you
not,
sit back in your seat. Look, same height, taller. Same height, taller.
But I am trying to be good about my posture.
Okay, I'm not.
Sorry. I look like I'm huge compared to you.
You do, because it's like, see, look how big I look now. And now,
all right.
Small.
So let's jump right on into on the dance card.
After that little side thing.
2 minutes
You're
ago.
going first, since now Sheila goes first every episode.
Shush. I just thought it would be easier that way. You can go first.
I don't care. I really don't
care. All right,
care.
so on the dance card, I'll jump right into, I'm doing a test knit for Hannah Campbell on Ravelry. So I'm going to assume that her last name is Campbell, but I could be wrong. So Han Campbell, HANCAMPBEL. I signed up. I'm on the test knitters group.
Me too,
Ravelry.
but I've never actually tested anything because I'm
haven't?
lazy.
I thought you tested it once. I think you did once.
Maybe I did.
Once.
I
get addicted to them. I go through phases.
Yeah,
so I get addicted
like
to them. I did a lot of my Christmas knitting last year from test knits. Cowls, hats. I think I did some mitts. It's really fun. So anyways, Hannah put out a request for a test knit. This is a hat. It's called Cascading Cables. On worsted weight, this happens to be Cascade 220 worsted weight, and it's a cable that's going up the side one way, and then the rest is just stockinette and ribbing. It's really an easy cable. It's a 3x3, and I'm doing my cables without a cable needle, which I have to say I'm impressed with myself.
It's so much easier, isn't it?
Well, I can usually only do it with 2, but because this is wool, it kind of sticks. It doesn't go anywhere.
Just to interject, I didn't know there was such a thing as a cable needle until a couple of years ago, so I always did cables.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow. I'm impressed there. So this is a 6-row repeat of the cable. She has you cast on with the smaller needle and then increase after you do the ribbing. Personally, now I got permission to talk about this on my podcast. I would definitely keep the casting on with the smaller needle. She in the pattern requires 4 and size 4 needles and size 6 needles. I am a tight knitter, so I cast it on with the size 5 needle, which is a 3.75 millimeter, and I'm knitting with the size 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter. I think this hat may be a little tight, and then you increase to 80 stitches. I think next time I knit this, and I will knit it again, it's a really nice pattern, I think I would just cast on the increased amount of stitches.
80 stitches to begin with?
Yeah, well, I don't want to give too much away because it's a test pattern, but yeah, I think I would. But you know, I have to try it on, and I'm pretty sure it was for an adult, but I'm not 100% sure. So it's a really nice pattern. I really like it. It's similar to the owling.
Yeah.
But you just continue up.
Yeah, that's
Really
a
nice.
nice. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
I like
lot.
the yarn. It's working up really pretty. Cascade 220 is such a good yarn.
Well, I was looking for, do you remember the monster I made
Yeah.
out of the green, Lona's Laces
Yeah.
red?
Yeah.
I was trying to find that. I couldn't find it. It's somewhere in the house. So I just can't, I saw the blue and I was thinking, well, I have some purple left over. I'm like, I'm done with purple right now.
Me too.
So this is really good. That's one that I have on my needles. The other one is, I'm going to show you my Flutterby socks.
Oh, I can't wait to see them.
I've actually gotten a good distance. It's in the middle of a heel turn. I have to do my heel turn, and I'm just trying to figure out. I'm using David's cookbook sock to do the toe up,
before.
and I'm never crazy about the way he does his heel turns.
Right.
Because it doesn't look right, and I've been looking at other toe up socks to figure out how to do a better heel turn.
Do you have the Wendy Johnson book?
I do.
Okay. Because I was going to say, she gives a lot of options in
Well,
that book.
I looked at some of her free patterns online, and she has you. See, I think with Wendy Johnson is she doesn't have you increase all the way up for the heel flap like David's does.
Right.
But she has you, by the end of the heel turn, you have increased more stitches.
Right.
And so I can't really do that one. But anyways, here's my Flutterbys with Serendipitous You Fate Fingering Sock and the Tulip colorway. So this is the front. This is the back of the stripe. I was thinking of doing a afterthought heel.
Oh, yeah.
But then I'm like, well, how do I figure out where to start the pattern for the leg? Because it goes around the leg when you're done. So I'm like, you know what, let me just do a short row.
I don't know. For me, I think afterthought heels, same thing with afterthought thumbs, which I'm not a huge fan of. They just kind of fiddly. I hate picking up those stitches. I'll do it, but
I've never done one, so I want to just try one to see if I like it or not.
Well, you know how you pick up the stitches on the owling mitts? That's like an afterthought heel where you knit that little line in.
I didn't do that.
Oh, you didn't?
No. I had read some other notes on, not the owlings, but on the fetchings that they were based off of.
Yeah.
And people just did gussets for them. So yeah.
That's what I prefer to do the gusset.
Yeah,
I don't like picking up stitches.
I did the gussets because of that.
Even though I was really careful, it still made holes that I had to fix at the end. I just
feel that the gusset. Well, the gusset makes it
more like a thumb shape.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta.
It increases for this part of the hand. Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I don't like to do it.
So that's my my Flutterby socks.
Very cute.
And I only cast on this last night. I actually cast on and ripped it out because I screwed up on the cabling. My fault, not the pattern instructions. It tells you clearly to do 12 knits, and I only did 6. And when I went to do the cable, I realized I only did 6. I'm like, oh, darn it. And last but not least on the needles is my Melee, M-A-I-L-E, Melee sweater. I had done this in fingering weight, and a coworker of mine asked if I could do it in a larger version for her 2-year-old. So you may need to help me with this because I've modified it.
Okay.
Because I tried just upping the yarn, but it almost makes it 3 feet around.
Yeah, that's not good.
And her daughter is skinny little 19 inches around. So this ends up being about 22 inches, which is good. It will give you some overlay and some room to grow. So this is the Melee lace.
I love that.
It's a little flower type. It's really sweaty.
It's a baby sweater that I think is so cute.
It's by Nikki Vander, Nikki Vanderkar. I'm doing it, I believe it's in Woolies. I'm not 100% sure. There was no labels.
Was that one of the ones that your father-in-law
Yeah, I burned it. So there's definitely acrylic in it because it lit. And so there's definitely acrylic. The question is how much acrylic. But you know what? This is for a mom who really does not need to be worried about
hand wash. Yeah.
No, she's got 2 older children and a little baby.
Plus, I think it feels like it's got some wool in it.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel
I did do a swatch, and it's in the other room. I blocked it as much as acrylic can block.
Yeah.
So this is what it's going to look like.
It's cute.
So I'm going to do about a 1-inch knitting, and then start the decreases. There's only like 3 decreases. I think I'm going to keep the arms as, it's supposed to be 30 stitches for the arms. I think I'm going to keep the arms. That way she can comfortably put something underneath it without worrying about, you know, it coming up here. So I might need some help when it comes to the decreasing part once you attach the sleeves and stuff. But so I may not knit adult sweaters, but I do like to knit baby sweaters because they're smaller. And I really enjoy this, and it's just, it's fun. It's fun. I like doing this. It's a, you know, at this point it becomes a mindless knit, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Know, so, hi, sorry about that. It was Wendy's time this time.
No, it was another, again, my husband Skyping me from China in the middle of recording.
Did that happen last time?
Yeah, during my episode. Apparently you didn't watch my episode.
I did, but I must have missed that part of it, so. One more thing on the needles, so to speak. I had started this a while ago, and I don't know if I ever showed it. It's just one of those that kind of sits next to my TV, and I'll pick it up every now and again. And
oh, yeah. I remember you showing that before.
did I? All right. Yeah. It's a granny square. I've made some progress on it. It's a different type of, it's a solid granny square, I call it. And you can see that it's wonky. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or not, but you know what? I don't care. It's just to use up some acrylic yarn, and I did something wrong here. But if you see real close up, there is actually 2 rows, so I don't know what I did wrong there, but I have a yarn, an end to weave in, so I'll probably just make a line there. So
yeah,
that
I would. So that's big.
So yeah, this is, I'll knit this until I run out, and it'll stay in the pile for whoever has a baby.
You guys, sorry. You guys need to be more quiet. My kids are in the other room.
So, yeah, this, I'm not going to show this very often. If I get it will be on the hook. If I get, you know, if I make
significant progress.
Yeah, it's just this, there is no stress with this one. It'll get done when it gets done, and that'll be it. So, good. Just some no-name acrylic, and you unfortunately can feel it. But I have the yarn, and it's either do this or wound it up and give it to the senior center, which is also an option.
And it may end up still being an option, because sometimes you rip stuff out.
I do it a lot, but so maybe this will become my podcast crocheting.
Oh yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. And believe it or not, that's all I have on my needles/hooks.
Yeah, wow.
I'll look for the pattern on that and post it. I have it somewhere that it's based off, the granny square. I just don't know where it is. It was photocopied from a library book.
Max, can you not crinkle?
A little loud on the crinkle in there, pal.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's 4 items on 4 items. Wow.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Go ahead.
All right.
Now that I took up most of the time.
I don't even know how much time it took up because we had to pause.
We had about 20 or so. Yeah.
All right. So the first thing that I have, excuse me 1 minute. Kids, please quiet down. Sorry. I'm having a hard time with my children this morning. So the first thing I have on the needles is To Air by Carol Sunday. I just have a little bit of it done.
Do you have do you have the pattern?
I do. I brought the pattern with me. It is a purchase pattern on Ravelry for $5, and I am knitting it out of Araucania Nature Wool in the number 22 colorway.
Ooh, it's so creative.
Which is a variegated red.
I was going to say, it almost looks like cherry.
Yeah, it's pretty. I picked up 3 skeins of it when Fabric Place closed. And
all right, yeah.
Framing it? Woburn. So I'm knitting it out of stash. It's for my mom. She saw the Jane Eyre movie with me this spring that came out, the new version. And Jane Eyre wears a shawl in it. And as soon as my mom saw it, she was like, I want you to make me that shawl. You got to figure out how to make that shawl. And I guess a lot of other people felt that way because people started talking about it on a group on Ravelry. And Carol Sunday, who's a designer, decided to come up with her version. And the thing that I love about it is she actually came up with, let's see if I can find all the pictures, 3 separate versions. Let's see, that's version 1. It's got kind of a wide ruffle in the back. This is version 2, which has shaped shoulders and a narrower ruffle. This is the one that I think looks the most like the movie version. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that is pretty.
And the third version is more like a shoulderette. You can see it. There you go. Shoulderette right there. So I'm doing version number 2. And like I said, it's for my mom. So far, it's pretty easy.
You're doing version number 2, you said?
Version number 2, yeah. The one, I'll show you. That one I'm doing. For those of you who have forgotten in the last 2 minutes, the one on the bottom. So anyway, yeah, I just bought the pattern last night, and I am starting on one of the edges. So you can see I don't have that much done. And this is going to be kind of my mindless knit. I need something to be mindless. And if you go on the pattern page,
I'm writing notes
Carol
on your
Sunday's
notes.
pattern page, it'll give you a link to the group where they discussed it and how many people are trying to figure it out. And they also link to several free versions of a similar pattern. Just so, you know, I know some people out there knit on a budget and they don't always want to buy a pay pattern. There are a couple really good versions that are free. I looked at all of them because I like to save money where I can. But I really felt like Carol Sunday's version number 2 was looked the most like what my mom wanted. The other ones, one of them has like a yarn over spine down the back, which is really pretty, but it wasn't like that in the movie, and some of them just were, they weren't shaped on the shoulders. I just feel like version 2 on the Carol Sunday pattern is the most like what my mom fell in love with, and I've never seen her do that. Like, as soon as we get out of the theater, she's like, you know that shawl she was wearing, I want that. So, and she loves red. We talked about it. I showed her this yarn.
I like that color red.
Yeah, I was going to do it in some Reynolds that I had, Reynolds Review, and which was listed on Ravelry as a worsted weight. But when I pulled the yarn up, I didn't remember it being a worsted weight. And when I look at it, to me it looks like a sport DK, and I didn't think it was going to hold up well on this needle size. I'm doing it on US 7s, which is 4.5 millimeters, and I am using my Addy Clicks for this. So I'm enjoying it. I cast it on this morning at 9 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock now, and I haven't really knit on it, but it's going very quickly right now. Obviously, it's going to slow down once I get into the larger part of the body.
Do you knit it on the bias? Like,
I'm not really sure how it works. I'm just knitting this is like one of the fronts.
Oh, all right.
So, I haven't gotten far enough in the pattern. I'm still increasing. So that's that project, and I'm keeping it all because I have more yarn. See? I have 2 more skeins of this yarn. It takes about 600 some yards.
Oh, all right.
And Arcania comes in, I think it's 240 yards
And
per
that's
skein.
fingering or worsted?
This is worsted. And I think it's more like a worsted than that.
I
think it's a light worsted.
It looks a little light.
It's a light worsted.
I mean, it doesn't look too much different than Cascade 220.
No.
Okay.
It's just a teeny bit lighter than Cascade, but that review was like so much lighter. I just didn't think it was going to look nice. Plus, I like the variegation. It will give it a rustic look, and I think my mom will like that. So I'm keeping the big part of it in there, and I have the skein of yarn in this yarnel. So that's what I'm doing with that. So that's number 1. Number 2, and I actually looked this up because I talked about it in my episode last week. I'm doing the Swirl Shawl by Li Juan Jing, which is a paid pattern. I found out you can purchase it through a link on Ravelry for $5. I got mine at Webb's. And I checked, and this has been on the needles since September of 2008, so 3 years.
Oh my gosh, really?
3 years this has been on the needle.
Wow, and I thought I was bad with my Saroyan.
No. You know what, this thing, it's fun, but it's kind of like
Mini projects.
I-cord
Oh.
and the Jared Flood shawl edging. It gets really tiresome after a while, and you have to stop.
It's one of those that you work on it a little bit at a time.
Yes, so I'm knitting it on... where did I write it down? I'm knitting it on US 6 4mm needles, and I'm using original Addy lace with the brass tip.
Does it smell like
clicks?
Does it smell like copper?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Side note on this. Addie Clicks, the original version of them, they have a smell to them, and it's funny because I have a few pairs too, and I'm like, what is that smell? What does that smell? When you use them and your heat heats them up.
You mean Addie regulars, right?
Lace.
Addie lace. Addie lace. These are the non-clicks.
Laced. And it wasn't until I watched His and Hers with Melissa and Sean that she said it smells like copper pennies. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what it smells like. I guess the newer Addie lace doesn't have that smell.
I don't think they do I don't think they're doing them like this anymore.
No. It bothers me to a point, but not enough to not knit with
I never noticed it until you said something.
Sorry.
But it does smell like copper. It doesn't bother me. It smells like copper pennies. It totally does. I have 2 full sets of Addie Cirques in 32 inches that I bought from Japan. Because I never buy Addies in America because they cost so much in America. But if you buy them in a foreign country, you can save money. Sorry, Skazel. I did buy these in America because they came out, when they came out with the lace, they put a better cable on it. It's the original Addie cable is so stiff.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
I don't have one with me because I only knit on them as a last resort.
I don't have them with me. I mean, they're across the room. I just
if you
don't
have Addies,
accessible.
you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I'm doing these on the Addie lace originals. I think I have 4 or 5 pairs of these in different sizes.
Oh, sorry, we had a knock on the door.
Visitor, it's busy here today. We got people calling us from China. We got people coming over.
And I'm missing one child.
I know. Imagine if we had all of them. So I'll show this again.
I like that. And you're using what yarn?
I'm using JoJo Land Melody Superwash in colorway number 49. I got the best colorways. Colorway 22, colorway 49. This is 49. It has a long variegation. And this week I've knit about 6 more hexagons, and you can see I'm in the middle of a hexagon. You knit each hexagon onto the existing hexagon. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, and I'll be done with row 2. And there are 5 rows to this shawl. So
all right.
I know, it's getting there.
It's probably going to be like my crochet thing. You're going to work on it when you work on it.
I mean, obviously, I seriously have been working on this. I'll work on it for like 4 squares, and then I'll get sick of it, and I'll put it away. I'm trying to commit to doing 3 squares a week. I think I could do hexagons. Why do I keep saying squares? I'm trying to commit to doing that and to just get it, like make it be like a mystery knit-along where I have a little thing that I have to complete, and once it's done, I don't have to look at it again.
It's a good idea.
So I'm going to try. My goal is going to be 3 hexagons a week, and eventually, in a few months, it'll be done. I really want to get it off the needles, though, because it's 3 years, people. And I like it, and I enjoy doing it until I get sick of it. It's just, you know, it's fiddly. I've been following the advice of some people, and I weave the ends in after every single hexagon because somebody said they didn't, and then weaving all the ends in at the end was a total nightmare. So I just, you know, it takes me, I knit the whole square, I weave in the ends. I cast on a new one.
Makes it feel like a project.
It's so, you know, it can get tired. And as we all know, I am not patient when I have to do the same thing over and over again a million times. So that one's on the needles. And let's see, the last thing is not exactly on the needles, but I have made some progress since last week. I showed you before, this is my swatch for Gawain. I knit it in 3 different needle sizes. I learned from this swatch that my seed stitch does not grow in this yarn the way that my stockinette does.
Now you had mentioned to me on the phone
that it shrunk a little bit.
Yeah, Max.
It drew in a little. It did. It drew in a little bit. It was looser until I washed it, and it kind of like it probably just settled. I think it got longer and drew in a little bit from all the pearls. I don't know. It's just a function of my knitting. It probably has something to do with the fact that it's seed stitch. So I really like the fabric. I love the colors. So I got that done. And then my mom and I used this book, Little Red in the City, which I talked about last week. And if you're interested, you can see a review of this on Knit Girl's, not this past week, but the week before episode. But she shows in this book, you can see the little drawings, how to take a bunch of different measurements. So I using my handy dandy downloadable version of the book, I printed out the measurement sheet.
Ooh,
Isn't that great?
that is good.
The only thing I didn't take a measurement of is the low hip because I'm not going to make the sweater be that long. So I didn't think it was necessary. If it is, like, I can measure. That's one of the few things I can measure myself. It has a column for all of your body measurements that she suggests, the ease that you want in each area, and then using her formula, you figure out measurements for the garment. So, using that book and her math, I'm going to take this pattern, which shows me the finished measurements for each size. This is Gawain. And I'm going to work with all that to convert it to the, I know, it's going to be, this is why it's taking
Oh my gosh.
This is why it's taking me so long to actually get it on the needles. I'm going to make it like this. I'm going to do that saddle shoulder. And let me see. I was saying that I thought it was, it's from the bottom up.
Oh, is it or from the top?
It's the same. It says seamless saddle shoulder sweater. Follow the directions for a yoke sweater on page 66. Where are the page numbers? All right, I'm going to just check this because I didn't remember last time. Okay. Yeah, it's bottom up.
Sorry,
It's bottom up. And I think that'll be good because the fussy part will be at the end, so where you have to do the decreases for the shoulder. And by then, I'll hopefully have everything worked out. But I haven't had time to sit down to do the math because I just got back from vacation yesterday. But I got all the measurements ready, and all I need to do really is sit down with a pen and a piece of paper and do the math and figure it out. So I'm going to work out what my sweater measurements are using Isolde Teague's formulas from her book. And then I'm going to take a look at what the measurements say on Alison Greenwell's pattern and see which one closest matches. I'll make adjustments where I need to, and then I'll just use those numbers to convert it to in the round. I really don't. It sounds really complicated and crazy, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. It's probably gonna be a nightmare. But I'm really excited to start that, and that's a part of the reason why I cast on to air the shawlette, because I think I'm gonna need something mindless to knit on.
Oh, right.
In between, because this has got a fancy cable and it's got all this seed stitch, which might be crazy making. I just think at the end I'm going to be so happy with it. So that's it. 3 projects on the needles. My easy project, my Rhinebeck sweater, and the thing that's been on the needles for 3 years that I need to finish. So that's it for me.
On to rate your date.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone noticed that I did not mention the Saroyan. Last week I decided to hibernate it because it was a monkey on my back and I was just sick and tired of it being there. Well, a couple of people, Knittables, I think Diane from Knittables is doing a Saroyan, and then one of the women in our group just finished one who was also secretly having a contest.
Yay for
and she won. Although she said she didn't block
a trend.
it. She didn't. She goes,
compete.
Does it matter if it's not blocked or something like that? I said, no, you finished. And then she's like, well, you got to do what you got to do. Because I said I was going to hibernate it. Well, reading over it, I'm like, you know what? Just let's look at it and let's just decrease it. So I looked at it. I did one more leaf motif and I started decreasing. And I'm like, I just want this. So I powered through it yesterday. I powered through all the decreases yesterday.
Wow.
The one leaf, and I blocked it last night. And it's still kind of curling because it's a thin scarf. And it's really fairly long. I didn't pin the leaves out the best of ways. I was just trying to do it to get it done. So
that's a nice scarf, though.
So it is. It is a nice scarf.
Your son's gonna want it.
I don't know. Well, see, I blocked it with a sample of eucalyptus, and it bled really bad.
Somebody told me that the essential oils that they use to scent things like eucalyptus and soak is what draws some extra dye out that water won't. And that's why, because I noticed as soon as I started using soak that my yarn would bleed out way more than it used to, and that's what it is.
So I finished this. I'm glad to get this monkey off my back. It's really soft.
Yeah, I love Malabrigo.
Super, super soft. So this was Saroyan by Liz Amanante, done on US 6 needles with Malabrigo lace held double. And I did have the leftover yarn somewhere.
Because the Malabrigo lace held singly was what she was using for the citron that she made me do for the Rav Olympics, and then she didn't finish.
I didn't finish, but you can see how much I did do. And I think I had ripped it out so many times that it was starting to pill. So I had like a small swatch left, and Zachary was using it for his dolls for a while. And then I think I just threw
like
it out.
Like a blanket.
And the amount of yarn I had left is not a whole lot. And I don't know what I did with it. I had it.
You had it in your hand earlier.
And you can actually see the outer edge of one of the balls, because I was using center pull, is starting to felt.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one I was using the outer ball because I had two skeins. And I don't know if I'm going to keep it or if I'm just going to pitch it.
I would just pitch it.
Yeah, I might, just because it's not in the love factor. So I like this. It became like her Jared Flood or I-cord. The leaves became tedious. If I was to ever do this again, I think I would go, and I'm sorry, Liz, I think I would go to the cedar shawlette, because you have all that, and then you're only doing the leaf pattern.
You just around the end and you crank through it.
Yeah, you can power through it.
By the time you get sick of it, you're done.
Yeah.
I loved that pattern.
So this was nice. I love how it comes out. It's pretty. It's soft. I don't think I'd do it again, though. Not this exact
Not that
thing.
one.
My next finished object is, so I want to thank Knittables, and I'm sorry I forgot your name on Ravelry. It's in my head somewhere. But I was telling her I was finishing it, so thanks for motivating me, because you really did. I got it done. I had that on the needles for a year and a month. And that's all my old stuff that's on the needles, so everything else is fairly new, relatively new, like within a month. The next
swirl shawl might be one of the oldest things I have on the needle. There might be older ones. I have to look.
The next thing that I have finished is the owl hat that I was doing based on the pattern Owlings by Kerry James. I used US size 7, 4.5 millimeters. I cast on 100 stitches because the owls are in groups of 5.
Okay. I had no idea where you were going with that.
This is my little head model.
Your creepy head model.
I know. Hey, it works.
Where did you get that?
Cam. I have no idea where he got it.
That's awesome.
So here are the owls. I really like this. Now, if I was to do it again, I think what I would do is to decrease maybe 5 or 10 stitches, because it's really kind of baggy.
Poofy on the top?
Yeah, a little poofy.
I think it's kind of cute.
Sorry, that was probably not the best way to place my yarn. So it's a little poofy up here.
I'll try it on. Sheila looks weird in hats.
Well, I have my hair up. Shush.
You have a big head, man.
Well, no. See, that's what I'm saying. It's poofy.
It's kind of slouchy. I like it.
Well, that's what I was kind of aiming for, and I should have. I don't know.
Very cute.
So I'm glad, and to place the owls, I don't know. Maybe I'll do them every 5.
Yeah, because
1, 2, 3.
we're having the same situation. I showed these last week.
We'll figure it out.
No, I'm not sure. I did some very similar. I did these, and we're both trying to figure out. We have buttons to put on for eyes. How we're gonna work it out.
Yeah. So I think I would try and do a different ribbing on this, because this keeps flaring up. But I think also at the same time.
Well, you know, the same thing is happening with this, and
the only thing is, I mean, you're gonna wear it, so it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't make that much of a difference.
I don't love that. I might crochet an edge onto it just to keep it from.
I like the slouchy look.
I do too. I kind of think it's really cute.
I wish I now kind of did it a little longer, but oh well. C'est la vie.
That was a fun little side project.
Yeah, it was. I did mine in continuous stockinette so that it was more of a mindless. So
I'm somehow missing. Oh, here's the other one.
So that's one finished object. I have 3 today. I finished my Mystery Shawl, Irish shawl. And actually, I have a coworker who would like to do this. So this is my mystery shawl. This was clue 4 at the end here. Now, if you see, whoops, where is it? I was looking at everybody else's patterns, and my sock yarn said that it was 439 meters. Meters are usually less than yards, right?
Yeah.
Usually you can get more yardage. It's only by a few. So I thought maybe I had no other way around.
Meters are bigger.
Meters are bigger than yards.
So maybe
that's what you mean. Meters are bigger than yards. You had meters, so you thought you had more
yardage. Okay. I knew
Thank
I
you,
was
Max.
writing some. I knew I was
I was getting
4th grade
confused.
math. I knew that there was somehow supposed to be more yardage.
The upshot is she thought she had more yardage than me.
She had done 2 repeats on clue 4 and still had room to bind off. Well, I finished my repeat on clue 4.
And
I'm
look,
like,
I bound off, like, I did extra rows,
Right.
and I did beads, and whatever.
So I thought I'd have enough room. Well, I'm like, oh, I better just bind off. So after my second repeat of the crossover stitches that go like this, I started binding off right away. And I actually ran out of yarn. And thanks to our lovely friend, Stella.
With her local yarn stash.
She gave me something that matches.
It's pretty well.
Well, it doesn't have the green, but for the last, I have like 20 stitches left to bind
That
off.
stinks so bad.
It matched the red. So
What kind of yarn is that?
she had no label on it. She had no idea. So I
Unknown.
unknown. I wrote unknown.
Here they are together.
Here they are together. Mine does not have any ends woven in. I blocked mine probably a little bit more severely than she did.
Well, and
I think I used a larger needle too.
you did use a larger needle, and I had that kind of heavy twist to mine that just made it knit up a little bit smaller.
This is not the
Stretch so
softest of wools.
Oh, it really.
I would not want this on my foot.
I wouldn't want it on my neck. Feel that on your neck. That's nice and. It's not soft.
If you have like a turtleneck that you could go around it. I mean, it was a great pattern. I will definitely be doing this again. I loved it.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun for variegated.
And you could do like so many different versions that actually it would be kind of fun. The beading was really fun. In
I
fact,
was planning on doing beading.
I've always said I would never do beads, and then I did beads
fun.
using the I used a needle and thread.
Oh, all right.
I just used it. I put them onto a piece of thread, and I did it that way. But I actually bought a beading crochet hook when I was in North Carolina because I'm probably gonna do something, and I think the fastest way would be to use the crochet.
Yeah, I've done it before, and I really enjoyed it. So I would definitely do this again, and I actually like my edging. I kind of like
it came out pretty.
How that came out, and I think this would be good in a tonal solid color because it would show off the nice texture.
I think if it was too solid, it would be kind of boring. But if it had just like this yarn, for example, would look gorgeous. Something like this kind of tonality would look really gorgeous.
So
It's nice. I like it.
I do too. It'll go in my pile.
Yeah, it's going to go in my pile too. I don't think I'm going to wear it very often. I might give it away to somebody. I might give it to my sister-in-law. Hope you're not watching this.
I wish I had more people to
Because
give it
these
away
colors
to.
remind me of my sister-in-law.
I don't know who would like this.
I would. I don't know. I don't know if I want them touching my neck.
No.
Sorry.
No,
Hope you're not getting this gift from Sheila. It's itchy.
It's not. No, I don't think it's that itchy. No, it wouldn't be. It just. I don't think it is. But I love.
It's itchy to me. If I hold it under my neck, it's itchy.
So how'd you like knitting with that? Do you think you could knit with wool knife?
I think I could. You know what I did? I kept my Wolf Farms lotion on the. I have like these. It's kind of hard to explain my living room, but I have like this half wall thing where I put stuff. I kept it right there next to the couch, and whenever my hands started to really bother me from touching this wool, I would just rub some lotion on. It worked fine. So. I actually have been looking around. If anybody's on my friend thing, you'll notice that I've downloaded a lot of patterns recently for lace weight sweaters because I'm looking to do a sweater with that lace, that wool-mize lace. I think I know what I'm going to do already, but that's way down the road. I don't know why I was bored on vacation and I was looking around for it. So
looking back at this, I think I would do more garter stitch on this because it's
yeah.
But it could also be the material. So, anyways, And one other finished object, but I don't have it to show you, is I finished a total of 8 washcloths. 2 for each one of Zachary's teacher and bus driver. So
Good for you.
And I gave them each a Crabtree and Evelyn avocado soup.
Cool. Good for you.
So they got those today because today is Zachary's last day of school, summer school, and then in 3 weeks it starts again. Oops.
So that's it for you?
That is all my finished objects. Like that wasn't enough.
Yeah, half the stuff I already showed last week.
Yes.
I only have one finished. Sorry, my kids are being loud again.
And we're sending in the babysitter.
We're sending in the goon. I finally finished rock. Well, I meant goon like bodyguard. You know what I mean?
Oh, all right.
Like that's what the mafia guys call their men. Their goons.
Wait a minute.
I didn't mean like.
I'm thinking
cool.
Goonies.
No, goon. I was just watching something about the Real Housewives of New Jersey where somebody was calling one of the family's sons goons because they were throwing people out of a party. That's what I was thinking of. So I finished Rock Island.
Yay, that's
I'll
pretty.
put it behind me so you can kind of see it. Oh, you really can't see it that far away. All right, well, there you go. It came out a lot bigger than I thought it would. I have a lot to say about this. This is Rock Island by Jared Flood. It's $6 on Ravelry. I did it in Ivy Bramble's Romantica in the Orchid colorway.
Beautiful.
And I love the color of it. It's really pretty.
It's really soft too. I
love this yarn.
I'm not big on lace weight, but my only experience is Malabrigo, which really is not a good experience, but I would definitely buy
I
some
love
of this.
this yarn. If you look at my project page, I think this is either the 3rd or 4th shawl I've done in this yarn, and I can't say enough about Yarn and Fiber Company, Romantica, and I remind everyone again, I go there, it's in Derry, but it's free shipping on any order, so if you don't live near Derry, you can still get this lovely yarn with free shipping, same as if you went in and bought it in the store. So I love the yarn, and the pattern was very well written, and except I just have a couple of problems with it. Sorry, Jared. My friend Jared, he never called me, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Don't hold your breath on that one.
He totally didn't call me, you know. So anyway, I would not knit this again. And the reason I'm going to say that is because some people don't have this problem. Anyone who knows me knows that if I have to do I-cord, it drives me crazy. This 12-stitch repeat, knitting that huge long thing of lace, drove me crazy. At first, it was okay, but then really, I was like loathing it. I had to force myself to do it. I could only do like 2 repeats at a time.
And not only that,
the whole point of knitting is to enjoy it.
You also wanted to extend the shawl.
I was going to make it bigger. I was going to make it with more repeats. So I was worried that it wouldn't be big, but it's pretty big. You can see. It's plenty big for me. Yeah, it's pretty big. So I wasn't in love with that. And the other thing, I'm trying to see what it was. You know, if you don't mind knitting I-cord or things that are a tiny repeat 12 stitches over and over and over again, then you might really like this pattern and it might not bother you. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that find that kind of stuff relaxing. I'm not one of them. I will say that what drew me to the pattern is the Rock Island lace, this right in here. I love how it came out. I almost wish I could do like a whole shawl in that starry pattern.
Pretty.
I just think it's so pretty. And as much as I worried about it, this part with all the stock, all the garter stitch wasn't that bad because I was decreasing. It got a little dull, but you know, it was, you know, it was relaxing. I could watch TV while I was doing it. I'm not a big fan of the decrease line. I think it would have been prettier if it was more intentional with yarn overs. It's just my preference. If there's going to be a spine down the middle of the shawl, I kind of like it to be clearly defined. The thing that drew me to the pattern was this lace, like I said, and the color in Jared Flood's photographs, which was this kind of purple color. I really feel like I got what I wanted out of this shawl. I love it. I think it's going to be one of my staple shawls that I wear a lot. But, yeah, I wouldn't knit it again.
No.
No. I wouldn't. I would definitely knit the Rock Island stuff again. I'm like thinking if I could just knit a whole shawl and that, it would be so pretty. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Yeah, I'm glad it's over with. And you'll notice that I'm knitting the swirl shawl, which is, ongoing. But my 2 other projects are in worsted weight. That's a reaction to having knit my last few projects all in fingering and lace weight. I need a break from it. I think I'm going to knit, my next shawl is going to be that pattern that you gave me that I can't think of the name of right now.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what it's called either, but because I love lace knitting, you're going to see it a lot.
Until your future date's there, girl.
It's not really a future date. I haven't really
planned on it.
It's not coming up anytime soon.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the pattern was very easy. So this would be a good first time lace weight shawl, as long as you don't mind that edging. And like I said, I think you could totally do this as a top-down shawl. It wouldn't affect the lace pattern at all, and you could knit this edging onto the edge. It might not give you the nice little gap area in between the stockinette and the edging, but it would look very similar.
Or
but
what about casting on with the provisional cast on?
You could do that. That's what you'd have to do.
Just a thought.
Yeah, so it is what it is, but yeah, I'm glad it's done, and I'm really going to love wearing that. And I should do an episode sometime where I bring in all my lace shawls, because I have a couple of them, and for people who like lace knitting, it's fun to look at them. So that's it for my On the Needles.
All right, let's jump into future dates. No, that was rate your date, by the way.
Oh, yeah, rate my date.
Sorry. So future dates, I gotta switch to the page.
Did we have 20 minutes on them?
Something like that. We're gonna run over this time. This is all my notes from my On the Dance Card and Rate Your Date.
Wow.
Hey guys!
You're too loud again.
Sorry. So future dates.
We might be splitting this into 2 episodes.
I think we will, because we still have a lot more to go. My future dates. I'm already thinking about my next socks, and it's called the Heath socks.
The what socks?
Heath socks. Heath's socks, as in Heath Ledger.
Okay.
Somebody.
I thought you said Heath, but then it was kind of blending.
Or
into
Heath
socks.
bar. Heath socks. They have a cable coming down here.
You guys are too loud.
Cable coming down the spine, and then it goes across the foot.
Pretty.
So I'm intending this for a male. The only male colorway that I have, and I meant to get it and I forgot, is Plymouth Yarn's Happy Feet. It's an olive colorway. It's very similar to the color that's used, and I think it will hold up well, and I hope this person likes it a lot. So that's what I'm planning for my future dates.
My only future date is the Podcaster Challenge, which is, we're going to get the pattern for that pretty soon.
It just looked horrible. I got a haircut and I'm still trying to figure it out.
If you're joining us right now, we may be in part 2 of the podcast, since I think we've gone over our 1 gig.
Yeah, I think we might have.
We have a lot of stuff this week.
Yeah, we do for some reason.
Probably because we didn't do a show last week together, and it just kind of gets crazy.
So for the Podcasters Challenge, we get the information on August 22nd. So we'll be asking you guys that week to help us choose our yarn.
Yep.
And then
we'll post on the group.
The next week we get to share their pattern, but not cast on until after the show from that next week.
And I am making a bunch of stitch markers, because I used to have a stitch marker store on Etsy, to give to Knitting's My Bag, Lois, as some of the giveaways for the prizes.
Who's in Maine right now? Lois, contact
Hi, Lois.
us.
Yeah, call.
Let us know where you
call
are.
Us,
so that we
you
can...
and Jared, man.
Maybe we can meet up. Because I had talked to her about that before.
Yeah, I know. And she said she wanted to.
Right. Also, I just want to throw out there, Jack girl, Katie? She sometimes flies into Bedford.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
so if you fly into Bedford again, you need to let us know, because that's about 20 minutes away from us.
Oh, and also, Katie, my mom said if you go online, you can find the Needham's Maine potato candy. Like, Google on Needham's. There's a place that you can order it if you don't want to make it. It's really sweet.
Boutros Babe told her also. What's her name? All of a sudden, it's Heather.
Heather
also told her where to find some too. So, anyways, we're completely going off track.
I'm going to put the recipe up on the group, because some people were interested in about the.
How was it? Good.
It's really sweet. I think I would modify the recipe a little bit. We managed between my mom, dad, my brother, and the 2 kids to eat an entire giant pan of the candy. Like, I ate it like it was going out of style. Last week was not a good... There's a reason why I didn't track my food last week. So, anyway, that's why. That's it for
future dates.
Crushes and heartbreaks. I'm going to let you do it.
The crushes that I have is the one that I've been saying for a while. It ends August 25th, so only a few more weeks until you need to hear from us. So it's the Denver Oyster Run for Make-A-Wish that Lynn Zim is doing. You can find her information at knittingtriathlete.blogspot.com. So I checked today before we went. She had a link to the the tallies of who's raised what, and as of yesterday, $5,186. So her team has been able to grant one wish
that
for
is
a child.
So awesome.
And again, to not to beat a dead bush or whatever it's called.
Beat a dead horse. Beat around the bush. Beat a dead horse, not beat a dead bush. I'm sorry.
I can't even claim lack
Her
of
son
sleep.
had a wish granted. And
but
so
it's not for terminal kids. It's for chronic medical conditions.
It's for serious
it can be for terminal, but it's not
conditions,
just for terminal.
which may or may not
And I've had a lot
terminal.
of people thank me for mentioning that. So
but that's awesome.
Go to her.
A kid is going to get his wish or her wish granted because of all the knitters out there.
And they needed 75 in Colorado. This is for Colorado. It's not for where we are, which is Massachusetts.
Although I point out every time Applebee's is doing a Make-A-Wish thing where if you eat at the restaurant, you can donate to Make-A-Wish. We did it for Massachusetts. So you might want to check out. If you eat at Applebee's anyway, donate. It'll go to your local.
So if you go to her website, knittingtriathlete.blogspot.com, she has a way for you to donate. If you donate $5, you get the My Wish pattern from Laura Linneman. If you donate $10 in increments of $10, every time you get your name entered into the drawing of about 30 plus prizes, which I am giving up a skein of Woolmize and Aquarius.
And I'm giving away a pattern of your choice. You get to pick from
$10 up to $10.
$10 or less.
Yeah, like not one of those ebooks. Sorry.
No, sorry. I don't have that much free cash lying around.
So go check her out, and you have until August 25th to donate. And, I think I'm going to donate.
Lynn, good job.
I think I'm going to donate some more money to get my name for some free stuff. Hey, I would love to win a skein of her own hand-spun yarn.
Yeah, I should put in more so I can get something.
Or Around the Twist with Karen has donated her shawl.
Oh, I know that shawl is gorgeous too. I wouldn't mind winning that.
So, anyways.
All right, so that's it.
That's it for Crushes and Heartbreaks.
Baubles and Bling. I got nothing.
Really?
Well, I bought a crochet hook.
Oh, the book? No?
Oh, no, I did that last week.
Oh, all right.
I showed it last week, but I brought it in so Sheila could look at it.
So, I got a couple of Baubles and Blings. One Bauble and Bling is the Elizabeth Zimmerman's Knitter's Almanac, where you can knit a project once a month. And I like the pie shawl, but the main reason I got this, which is kind of funny, it's almost like a heartbreak too. The main reason I got this is because I wanted to do her moccasins, the moccasin socks that you can replace the foot on, because I always have an issue with my foot. Well, I got this at a decent price and paid hardly anything for shipping. I'll use this anyway. But her moccasins in this book is knit flat, and you have to seam. I don't seam. So I'm getting out of the library Knitting in the Round by her.
Is it in
Which, no,
this
it's
one?
not
It's
in
not
that
in this one? Because I have Knitting Without Tears right now.
Knitting in the Round gives you a knitted in the round version of the sock. The only thing that's knit flat is the cuff, and then you pick up stitches and knit in the round. So I think once I get the whole gist of knitting in the round and where to put the heel gusset and everything, I'll be fine with that. I like this book. It's got the February baby sweater in it. It's got the pie shawls, and hats. That's probably the only thing I'd really use out of this book.
The great thing about an Elizabeth Zimmerman book, I was telling Sheila this on the phone last night, is you're going to be able to use it for something. They're such good, it's like one of the books that I recommend to people who are just starting out knitting. It's just
I don't know if I'd recommend this
standard.
one, but
Well, that one's more like recipes, but like Knitting Without Tears. It just gives you some standard traditional things. Longies.
So I'm glad I got this book because I have no other Elizabeth Zimmerman book. It was a little bit of a heartbreak because I'm like, oh, the one pattern that I really got it for was not what I wanted to do with. The other one I got my interweave knits. Now I'm not going to do a review. I think some people have already done reviews on this.
It's not shiny.
Should it be shiny?
The paper is different. Does anyone else think the paper on this
Oh, it's not like a catalog
It's not glossy.
Well, everybody's
Maybe they're
cutting back somewhere.
Cutting back, yeah.
So I just wanted to point out a couple of things that I like and that I'm going to do differently. Well, I got to find it first.
I hardly ever do anything.
Well, that's my other goal is I really would like to knit some things out of the books or I love that sweater, but out of the
Oh, I love that
magazines.
too. I'm so glad you got that. I might have to borrow that magazine.
So see this sweater here? The back design is what wrong finger. The back design is what I really like.
Me too.
So I'm going to try and make that into a shawl.
You know what's really funny?
So see here, I can't show that, but
What weight is
here's a better.
What weight is that knit in?
Oh, it's probably knit in
Fingering?
probably.
Because that's the pattern that I'm thinking about doing
Oh.
with my Wilmais.
So I really like
But I will
that.
actually make that sweater.
I really like it a lot. And it's not really Heather page here. Manos del Uruguay Serena. That's all it says.
It's like page 82. Sorry, we're looking it up. It's like you're not even here.
Yeah.
Where's
Baby
the
alpaca,
gauge?
Pima cotton gauge, 24 stitches, so 6 stitches to the inch on size 5. So fingering. So I really liked the back of that, and I thought that would make a pretty shawl, so I might try and do that. And then the next one I like these socks.
Yeah, those are pretty.
I need to work on some color work more again, because my color work is seriously lacking. So that's all that I really liked out of this. It's a good book. I like the book. And
Yeah, I
Kate
almost.
Osborne.
I know. Oh yeah.
Sorry. That's all my baubles and blings.
Let's see.
That's the only book I subscribe to.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to any of them because you and our friend Starlet Stella do. So if I need to borrow a pattern, I can just borrow the magazine. Although I was thinking of getting the digital subscription, but I'm still on the fence about it.